Welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 22. It's been a long time since we've sat at this table and done a podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been at least...
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks because 3 weeks ago was the last time we filmed one, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while, which this is something that we kind of look forward to doing, so it stinks not being able to do it, but we have obviously had some reasons for not doing it. This past week, our son started his first week of T-ball. I had a wedding that I was in that was on a Friday, so I had to do stuff throughout the week.
Well, also, our internet went out. So that was the thing is, normally we film these on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to wait till Thursday, and because you had Thursday off, so we were going to, film and then get straight to editing and be good for Friday morning. And that was the day that the
AT&T went out completely.
AT&T went out, and then our internet went out as well. And every time, which our internet's out right now, too.
It was like at the same exact time.
Right.
AT&T went out, and I was headed to go golf with the boys in the morning because Sid is getting married the next day. Well, he got married the next day, so congrats to Sid and Ashley before we go any further. Anyway, so I was getting ready to go golf in the morning, and I was freaking out. I was like, dude, did I forget to pay the phone bill or something? I was freaking out. So I pulled up to Sid's, and I've been to his house so many times that my phone connected to his Wi-Fi, and I texted you real quick. But right when I did that, Sid texted me, and he was like, hey, AT&T's got like an outage nationwide. So it was pretty much like, man, I didn't know if I was going to be able to talk to you. And I don't think I was able to talk to you for like at least 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Until the internet finally came back. I got my service back here, and then we were able to communicate. So that was a rowdy day.
Well, our internet was out for the whole day because normally we would be able to, hook up to our hotspots on our phones and try and get the video uploaded. But since our phones were down most of the day too, it's just like, well, I mean, it's pretty much shot.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, but I feel like we could still film it with no internet. That's not a problem.
Right.
But we just had a lot. We just had a lot going on. I personally don't think the internet was the issue because we can always go to my mom and dad's and upload or something like that. But I think it was
hard that one time we had to do that though. But it's
I think
doable,
it's more so just we had a lot. We've had a lot going on. Like I said, son started baseball. The girls' ballet got moved to a different day, so now it's stacked in the beginning of the week, and we really only have Wednesday to do anything now. So with our 3 kids, our daughters are in dance and hip hop. So that's 4 classes. Well, technically only 2, but like basically between the 2 of them, right? They're going like to the 2 times a week. And then Alonso is going to T-ball on Thursdays, and that's every Thursday. So that's why we switched ballet from Thursday to Monday. So now the girls go to dance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays off, Thursdays ballet. Thursdays T-ball. I'm everywhere right now. But it's just we've had a lot going on. Really, really, really we have. But we've been still cranking out videos, and I think that is first and foremost our most important thing that we do. We love doing the podcast, but we don't want to miss any long-form videos. So we've still been putting those out. You guys have kind of seen what we've been up to. We're excited about, obviously, what's going on, and we're excited for some stuff that's coming up. We have a competition this weekend, but let's backtrack a couple of weeks. We never talked about Smoking on the Rio, and we never talked about CBA World Championship. So let's reverse a couple of weeks. We headed down to Weslaco, Texas. I'm sorry, we didn't head down to Weslaco. That's where my uncle lives. We headed down to Mercedes, Texas, and we competed in Smoking on the Rio. And how did we end up doing?
So Smoking on the Rio and CBA Championships. Those were 2 very big competitions for us. Numbers-wise, the quantity of people.
There was 200 at Smoking on the Rio.
Right. So, we just went out there and did what we do.
Yeah.
And just hope for the best, right? And, when awards are going on, it's very hard to gauge, even if you're just getting one walk, it's very hard to gauge how you did overall.
Yeah, because there's so many.
Right. because only those top 10 are getting called, right? So you walk away thinking like, man, I didn't do very well.
Yeah.
But we actually were 11th overall.
Yeah, we got 11th overall out of about 200 teams, which is, to me, a great showing. We walked away with a 6th place rib, which our ribs have been doing historically pretty good. We're happy with that. And it was just overall a good day. I mean, I didn't have any issues with anything that we cooked. We chose to cook chicken wings, and I thought they were really good. I really, really thought that they were delicious. Even Rini came and tried them, and he thought they were fire. I was happy with the turn-in, but we ended up with a 55th place chicken, which it ended up hurting us a little bit.
Yeah.
But we had decided we're cooking wings, and we're cooking wings only, and we went with it. And that's the thing that I really do like about us. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. And we don't back down, even though maybe, obviously, hindsight, we should have cooked a half as well.
Yeah, considering we had just placed, third, right.
Or thighs as well, something. We should have had a backup plan. But I was happy with the wings, and I thought they tasted really, really good. Speaking of Rini, congratulations to him on hitting a second-place rib. Perfect score. Used Southern Hospitality and that base to help him get that perfect score. Shout out to him. He's a great friend. Shout out to Raul. He ended up getting a chicken call and I believe a 7th place overall. Mm-hmm. So great showing by him. Congrats to Bill Purvis with a 2nd place perfect score chicken. Awesome call. Awesome call. Congrats to Fred Robles. He had a couple of calls as well, and I believe he was 8th overall or 9th overall. And then, of course, shout out to our friend Phil Breeden, an absolute animal. I don't even know what else to say. I truly respect that guy as a cook so much. We've talked about it before on the podcast. You and I have talked about it before personally. Anywhere that guy goes, he can win. And it's incredible to see. 2 great calls. He got the GC. Just amazing, amazing, amazing work by him. Sons of Smoke, shout out to those guys. Met them that weekend. Awesome dudes. Awesome dudes. Was really glad to be able to meet them, and they had 2 monster calls as well. I almost thought that they were going to back-to-back the event, but, Phil ended up getting the win, and, man, just shout out to Phil, shout out to Bill, all of our friends that did really good.
I even, because Phil got, 2 walks initially, and, when they're getting up to that grand champion, there's so many people, right? So anything can go at this point. You don't really know who to expect. Even if people have been getting 1 call, 2 calls, that doesn't mean they win, right? But I just remember hearing his song and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I don't know what I said, but I have it on camera. I was like, dude, this dude can just come out of nowhere and win the whole thing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Very consistent cook.
Yeah.
As soon as we heard that song and we knew it was Phil, you saw me. I literally instantly got up and just started walking that way because I wanted to congratulate him because that was his first World Championship win. And that was a World Championship. There was teams from outside of the United States that came, and that's what qualifies it as a World Championship. He's a world champion. And it is just a really exciting win. As soon as I walked over there, him and Bill and Bill's wife, Vanessa, were right next to each other. They were already celebrating. Kit was there with them already celebrating. And so many people just ran up to him, congratulated him. You could tell he was super excited. Everybody was genuinely excited for him. And you and I have talked about this before. You can tell when there's people who are truly, genuinely excited for you when you win. And you can tell that there's people that just go through the motions. Like, oh, congrats, right? There's been times, we've hit a GC and it doesn't really feel like anybody wanted us to win, which I get. I'm not saying anybody should want you to win, but, man, like when we got our first GC, I know Bill was genuinely excited for us. Stacy, Dustin, all those guys were genuinely excited for us. And, it felt like everybody was genuinely excited for Phil, and I was really excited for him. I'm truly happy that he got that win. Do I wish it was me? For sure. Do I wish it was? I for sure wish I was the one that walked up there and grabbed that award, but I'm genuinely happy for Phil. He's been doing this for a long time, and he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, and we also, just to backtrack a little bit, we also had a 22nd place pork and a 25th place brisket. Now,
I'll take it.
Yeah, when you think about the number of teams, those are good placings.
Sure.
But yeah, the chicken definitely hurt us. If we had gotten anything better than that 55th 5th place chicken, we're in the top 10.
Sure.
We
missed out on the top 10 by like 0.18 points.
Yeah.
And Kit got us. Canned heat. Kit got us. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I felt like it was a great weekend. I was really excited. The one thing that I'll say, and I don't really always like talking about this, but the one thing that I'll say, and it genuinely meant a lot to me, as I was walking around in that event, more people noticed me than ever before. And it started to actually feel surreal. I was like, there's no way this many people are noticing me at this event. Now, granted, it was a way bigger event than we'd ever been to, so there's more people, so I guess it makes sense. I had so many people come up to me like, hey, bro, watch your videos, love what you're doing, like, keep going.
Well, even so when we pulled up to Smoking on the Rio on, Friday, during the day, the people who were next to us, great group of guys.
Yeah, they were awesome.
But they recognized you.
Yeah, well, they even knew you too.
Right.
So, and that's the thing. Obviously, I think people, unless you actually dive deep into our content, you see me and you notice me.
Right.
If you dive deep, then they see stuff like this, and then they notice you.
Right.
These guys knew me and you. Of course, I think more people will gravitate towards talking to me just because it seems like I'm like the lead, I guess. And I'm here to tell everybody, like, that's just not the case. We're equal in this. We're 50-50, right? We both have our part in this. And that's, it's not even anything I need to bring up. You and I know what's going on here. To the outside world, it's just, I get it, right? They see my face more than they see your face. It just is what it is. But, man, the group of guys next to us, amazing guys. They were a lot of fun to cook next to. Man, they were asking us how their food tasted. And I always find it really hard to tell people the truth. But I told you and I told them, hey, look, I'm going to tell you the truth because I want you to get better. And I told them the same thing that I'm going to say right now. All their food tasted great. I think they needed to work on their tenderness. That's the thing that I'll say. People don't realize that you need to be so tender that it is almost mushy. It can't be mushy, but it needs to be as close as you can to that. I genuinely feel that. When we've had super, super, super tender ribs and brisket, we hit.
Well, and I think that's the one thing that can take you from, being middle of the pack to getting towards the top because, like you said, people are going to taste your food and they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So they'll be like, oh, yeah, that tastes good. But that doesn't help you because anybody's stuff can taste good. Taste is, subjective to...
We talk about this all the time.
Right. To whoever's trying it, right? Mm-hmm. They might like this person's but not like this person's.
Yeah.
And I might like this one, but you might not like that one. But the tenderness is the one thing that...
everybody can... Yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs to kind of hit that mark with the tenderness. So if people are trying your food and they're not being honest with you, or they're being honest because they don't know any better, that doesn't help you.
For sure. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing any better.
Right.
You can only give an honest opinion on what you know. Right? And like I told those guys, food tastes great. You need to go further with all this. Right? I felt like everything, and I told them, I said, look, I'm not trying to compare, but taste yours, then now taste mine. And I gave them all of our food. And as soon as they bit the rib, you could just tell it like it's falling off the bone. And they're like, oh, yeah, yeah, there's a difference for sure. And we ended up hitting a 6th place rib. And they were kind of, as we were walking up, I don't know if you saw, they were like, hell yeah, let's go, baby. Because I think that was like not a reminder, but it was like okay, he was right. His were way more tender than ours. They got to walk. And I love that people get enthusiastic about it. So I love getting asked those questions. And it is hard. But if anybody ever asks you, just be honest with them. Just be honest with them. Like Kevin, that's the one thing I love about Kevin. Kevin has tasted our chicken, I don't know, maybe 4 times. Or 3 or 4 times. Straight up the first 2 times that he ever tasted our chicken, he literally told me, don't worry, bud, we're going to get you there. Like, without saying, hey, this is not good, he basically told me, hey, this chicken is not good. Right? And I didn't take it to offense. I said, okay, Where can I work on it? And he gave me some insight on what he thought it needed to be better at. And then he tasted our chicken again recently in Refugio. And he straight up said, he's like, that's good chicken. We ended up hitting a third place chicken and we won the event. So if I wasn't able to take, if Kevin told me that and I was like, you know what, man, forget you. I don't like you anymore because you told me my chicken wasn't good. I mean, come on. You're never going to get better. The one person that it's really hard to take that criticism from is my dad. Just because, like, I do want to hear it, but dad is just so blunt about it, you know, that sometimes it's hard for me to take. But I appreciate it. I truly do. I appreciate my dad telling me the truth. In Refugio as well, I grabbed a piece of brisket and I ran it out to dad and I said, eat this now and give me feedback now. Is this good? Do you like it? What would you change about it? He bit it and he said, it's good, but do this. Or he wanted a little bit more of this on it, this flavor. He wanted it to go a certain way a little bit more. I said, okay. I grabbed that piece. I walked over to Chance. I said, hey, taste this. He said the same exact thing as dad. We made the change. We got a second place brisket. We love the feedback. Right. We love the feedback. And you need to learn to love it as well if you guys are trying to get into competition barbecue.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think you can really grow if you're not. I mean, there's criticism and there's constructive criticism, right? So you have to be open-minded and understand that, you know, if somebody is giving you some constructive criticism, it doesn't mean your food sucks. It doesn't mean you're the worst cook ever.
Doesn't mean that.
It's that a lot of people have gained a lot of experience, you know, in competition, and they know what these judges are looking for.
Yeah.
And if you're new to this and you don't know these things, your taste is only going to get you so far.
For sure. And in my opinion, that's the greatest thing about having barbecue friends. We call them barbecue homies. People that you can trust. Like for me, Kevin, Rini, Bobby, Bill. I do have a few, Raul, that I trust when they tell me something. And, you know, even like Rini, he'll straight up be like, bro, I don't like that. Raul, oh, I don't like that. Or I do like that. Like Raul in another competition, which we'll get to, he straight up was like, bro, that is fire. Like there's no way you don't hit. That is amazing. And we ended up not hitting, but it's good feedback from him because he liked it. I'm not going to make any changes, right? I'm not going to make any. So to wrap up Smoking on the Rio, it was a great event, an amazing event. We had a lot of fun. And then we got to spend some time with my uncle afterwards, which was just so amazing. It really, truly was. We are blessed. I'm blessed that I have an uncle that is just willing to open up his home for us. We got there a little bit late. We didn't smell very good. We were there competing all day. He let us relax, wind down, take a shower. They gave us a place to sleep, treated us to dinner, treated us to breakfast, and then sent us on our way. And, you know, I tried to pay for the pizza and everything. They wouldn't let us. Just if Uncle Mike's listening to this, man, we love you very, very much. And we appreciate you opening up your home to us. And then the drive home, man, it's pretty easy. Straight up, come home. And
except for the part where I lost my phone.
Oh, gosh, yeah. You did lose your phone, and it took us a while to get it back. But thankfully. You and I share our location with each other.
Yep.
Not because we're a crazy couple that needs to see where each other are, but because
it's helpful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hate to say it, but just in case something bad ever happens,
right.
We at least know, you know, and so I can honestly say, like, I don't ever check your location.
Yeah,
right?
no,
but
it's good. We travel a lot, so it's very helpful.
And, you know, of course, that day it did help us out. So I was able to pull up her phone, and it was in a building inside of a golf cart, like somebody that was walking around the premises probably picked it up. And I literally walked straight up there, opened up the glove box because no one was around, and I just grabbed the phone and we left.
Yeah.
And we found it, but we were looking for it for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so.
Well, yeah, because
maybe longer.
The night before, so we had to, and anybody who went knows that, you know, the gates were closed. You could not leave. So we were getting ready to grab our stuff and go walk to the parking lot for the night to go stay with your uncle. And I had my phone as a flashlight while we were kind of packing up, and I guess I left it somewhere or dropped it on the ground on the way out, and the security building was like right across from where we were. Mm-hmm. So those guys, and that's, we were checking like where we were cooking, like, you know, where the heck is this? It says it's around here. And so we went and checked that building, and you could see on yours that it was like right there. And luckily, I mean, You didn't give up. I was like, I don't know where this is. Or
yeah, you straight up gave up.
Well, yeah, because I was in there with the only guy that was in there, and he was just like, well, I'm not sure. And I'm like, well, man, I don't want to go snooping around, you know?
Yeah, I just
and
walked.
He left, and then you walked in there, and boop,
well, I didn't even know he left.
Yeah.
I had no idea he left. You told me afterwards he left. I literally just pulled up your phone. And the cool thing about it being on iPhone, if you like change the direction of your iPhone, it basically shows you like, hey, okay, you're looking at it now, or it's behind you or whatever.
Right.
I walked straight up to it, and I clicked like contact, and it'll like ping your phone.
Yeah.
And I could hear it, and I just opened that thing up, grabbed it, and walked out.
Yeah.
But like I was not about to give up. I knew the phone was in that building. Whether he knew it or not, I was going to show him like, hey, dude, it's in here.
Yeah.
It's in here. We got to find it. Like, this is a $1,500 phone. We're not about to just walk away. I'm sorry.
Well, I got the 1,500 pictures of our kids in there.
Yeah. But anyway, so Smoking on the Reel was amazing. We had a great time. Event. But the way I would like to have this podcast kind of like go today is let's go on a timeline. So Smoking on the Reel happened. And then we put out a video that was how to grill steaks.
Mm-hmm.
And we put that out the day before Valentine's Day. We didn't really make the video Valentine's Day themed, but we put it out the day before for a purpose. And that video, I feel like, was a really good video, just even for us to kind of sit back and be in that, hey, let's just like try and teach people on YouTube mode. It's a lot different than what we do these days, but it was really fun to get back to that. And I felt like that was a really good video. So in that video, we talk about how to grill steaks. And it's very, very simple. We show you 3 different methods. We show you a reverse sear, a forward sear, and then we show you the flippity flip method, like Arnie Tech says. And it ended up being just a really, really good video, I thought. And if you guys are ever interested in learning how to cook a steak, I think you can grab some great pointers from that. I know a lot of us probably may be past that stage in our cooking careers, but there's a lot of people out there that are afraid sometimes to pick up the grill for the first time and sear a steak. They don't want to mess it up. Steaks aren't cheap. So that video is there to help you guys, and we'll put a link in the description so you guys can go watch that if you want.
Yeah, and I mean, once you start making steaks on your own, you realize how much better it is than getting it at a restaurant. I mean, there's very few restaurants that I can even think of that have a decent steak, no offense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just they're trying to just sling stuff out as fast as they can, you know?
No doubt.
And they're not worried about the quality of the meat.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But I would have to say, just before we close out that portion, what was your favorite method for cooking?
Reverse sear is always going to be, reverse sear to me, the reason I like a reverse sear is because it's really hard to overcook that because you're bringing it up at such a slow temperature that, so like whenever you're cooking something really, really hot and fast, if you pull it off the coals, it's still rising. It's still cooking. And you were cooking it so hot that it's going up at a rapid rate. So you might probe it in, it's 125, perfect, but it might shoot up to 135.
Right.
So with the reverse sear, you're bringing it up really, really low and slow. Well, not low and slow, but you're bringing it up slower than something over direct heat. And that allows us to get close to our target temp and then just do a couple of flips for like a minute each, get a great sear, get a great crust, move on. So I like reverse sear personally. I feel like it gives more added flavor to you. You almost get like a little bit of smokiness.
Right.
And makes for a great steak.
Yeah, I like the reverse sear as well, but I like to start searing it a little sooner than normal because I like more char.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a million different ways to do it. I don't think there's a wrong answer there, but
for sure,
I do prefer a reverse sear. And again, if you guys are interested in learning how to cook a steak, that video is up on our channel. It's a couple videos back by now just because we've been on a podcast hiatus, but I think you guys will really enjoy that one.
For sure.
So after that, the very same week, we ended up heading to Seguin, Texas to compete in the CBA World Championship event, which is an event that we talked about a lot, and we really, really badly wanted to win it. We talked about it. We feel like we're a strong enough team to win it, even with all the great teams out there, and there are a lot. We do feel like we're a good enough team to win that event, and we straight up just got beat up. There's no other way to look at it. We did not do good in anything, and it is crazy how bad we did. There was how many teams?
Let's see. Overall shows 114.
So there was 114 teams. We ended up with a 109th place chicken, which is
104th.
Oh, 104th. Sorry. Which is obviously absolutely horrible. That being said, if you look at 100 to 114th, there are some names on there that you would not believe did that bad in chicken.
Oh, for sure.
And we're not going to say those names, but I promise you, there are some world champions on that list between 100 and 114 in chicken that somehow we just got mopped.
Yeah.
Did I think our chicken was bad? I truly did not. Like, there was not, and we always go back and we always try and be real honest with ourselves. I did not think that chicken had anything bad about it. I do not think it deserved 104th.
Yeah.
There's just no way. That being said, judging is subjective. It is what it is. What can we do about it? No big deal. So in ribs, what did we end up doing in ribs?
So ribs, not too bad. We got, well, bad considering we've been doing so well in ribs, but we got a 29th place rib.
Yeah, not happy with it.
Yeah, we're not happy with it. In the grand scheme of things, like I said, overall, if we didn't do so horribly in chicken, our overall scores would have been better. The 29th place might not have hurt us. But
yeah,
rib is just one of our stronger categories, so it's a shame to do 29th place with it.
And that's the protein that I was saying earlier. Raul tasted it and said, dude, this rib is straight fire.
Yeah.
Straight money.
They were the same as they always are.
And I agree with them. I thought that they were amazing. I thought they were really, really good ribs. I thought we had an opportunity to hit and hit hard with them. When we heard some of the names that were being called for rib calls, I said, okay, these are the guys that we usually bang with on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis. I think we're going to be there. Like, you know, Adam and Michelle from AMP. I've battled with them on first place ribs many times. First, second, you know. So they got a call. I'm like, okay, they make great ribs. We make great ribs. We should be there. We ended up not getting anything, which is a disappointment. But again, you just move on. Our pork, I thought, was excellent. I thought we had really, really good pork. Money mussels were super tender, delicious. I had no complaints with them. And what did we end up getting there?
57th.
57th? I don't know why it was a 27th. 57th. Obviously, nowhere near where we wanted. Just wasn't good. And brisket was 55th?
58th place brisket.
58th? Yeah, which, I mean, again, I thought that the brisket was really good. You and I had a conversation afterwards. I do think that we got out brisketed, if that makes any sense. We showed up with a prime. We showed up with a butter knife to a gunfight, I think. Some of the best cooks in Texas were there, and we showed up with a prime that was nice, but it wasn't the best prime we'd ever seen. So it's not an excuse. That is our fault. We made that decision. I think it was the wrong decision personally. Well, that's just me.
Well, I think, the brisket was good. I thought it was good. Mm-hmm. We had a little bit of a disagreement about I thought the burn ends maybe weren't tender enough, but you thought they were tender enough.
Yeah, I thought they were perfect.
Overall, I think we've made better briskets. I don't think there was anything wrong with our brisket. I thought, any other small competition, I probably could have done better, but no, I don't think it was our best brisket by any means. And I think you have to be honest, be able to be honest with yourself about things like that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, in the moment we're happy about everything, right? And then you question like, man, how'd we do that bad, right? But when you actually take a step back and look at it, you can see where can both see where our faults were in the cook.
No doubt.
But bottom line, I will say ribs and pork I thought were very, very good. I thought those were worthy of getting a top call.
No, I agree. I thought that the ribs and the pork were exceptional that day. I really, truly did. I wouldn't have changed anything with those boxes. I really wouldn't have. I feel comfortable with what we put in there. On the chicken, I actually kind of feel the same way. I mean, if anything, maybe 15 more minutes, 10 more minutes. But,
yeah.
I mean, I was comfortable with the chicken. It was fully cooked. There was no blood. There was no nothing. It was tender. It was moist. It was delicious. I liked it. Straight up, I liked it.
Yeah, and we walked away with the 66th overall. But one thing about CBA World Championships is it was freezing. It was cold.
Yeah.
And we had everybody pretty much had a long walk to the turn-in.
It was like a 4-minute walk, 4.5-minute walk.
Right.
And you and I talked about it. We're like, man, is it possible that our food just on the way got really cold? And we don't know what they tasted because what we're tasting is still warm food.
Right.
And the other thing is our smokers most definitely were not running the way that they normally do.
Oh, yeah.
It was harder for me to get them up to temp this weekend or that weekend because it was a lot colder.
Yeah.
There was just there was elements involved. And we did everything we could, but it was just hard.
Yeah, everything finished a little bit later than normal. Now, I don't think that affected like our ribs or pork overall, but just an observation, right? Everything finished a little bit later. Some of the drums took a little bit longer to get up to temp or stay to temp. So I think it kind of, I'm sure it messed with everybody.
Oh, for sure.
There's people who had even farther walks than us.
Oh, yeah.
And we did what we could to try and keep that food hot.
Yeah, we put hand warmers in our little bag to keep the bag hot and hopefully keep the box hot. But we don't know if that worked or not. We didn't get to taste that food. And we tried our best, but, man, it just is what it is. And, yeah, 66th overall. I'm not happy about it at all.
Yeah.
Because we sorely wanted to win that event. We did, just like we want to win every event. But it does stink to go in there and get your booty whipped.
To not even get a walk.
Get a walk, sit on your booty the whole time. But, hey.
We still put out the video.
And, yeah, not yet. You're going to edit it for this Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You're going to edit it for Tuesday.
We will put out the video.
We will put out the video, and that's the thing. You're never going to see us try and dodge that stuff.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to take the GCs well, we got to take the butt whippings well. And it just is what it is. Both are going to happen in this sport, and we completely understand that. This doesn't make us any less of a cook. It's just something that happens, and we move on, and we go forward. But after the event, we ended up going to the CBA Banquet, which we are proud members of CBA. We're proud members of IBCA as well, but we ended up going to the CBA Banquet, and they honored the top 10 overall cooks in every category and the top 10 cooks overall. And we were super happy to see our friends on that list. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Phil. It was just really, really great seeing everybody get those accomplishments. And Arnie Tex had a speech in there. The dinner from Burnt Bean was incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
We got to meet some awesome people, Jackie and Tim Milligan, Team Chupacabra. I have finally got to sit down and talk with them a little bit. They're amazing people. And shout out to them. They did really good this past weekend in Houston. But it was just a really, really cool event to be able to see all of our barbecue friends outside of the barbecue competition and looking nice and sharp. And all of us were dressed up. My hair was done. It was really cool. So blessed to be able to do those back-to-back weekends. Had a lot of fun. Didn't get the turnout that we wanted, but like I said, that's just life.
Yeah.
So
Jackie, she even came and talked to me, and it's funny, right? Because she's like, man, I feel like this is our first time meeting face to face, but it's like I know you because we keep up with you guys on social media and the YouTube channel and everything.
And we appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and we've been to a couple competitions with them, and it's really cool to actually be in an environment where you're face to face talking to everybody casually and not necessarily
at a competition where everybody's basically facing off against each other, and it's a little bit different.
But also, that food from Burnt Bean was amazing. So they had pork chops for everybody, green beans and mashed potatoes, and something about those green beans.
They were like Asian infused or something.
Yeah, they had like carrots
and
if
you're looking at the camera, the pork chop's like this thick.
Oh, yeah.
And you can literally cut it with a plastic fork and knife.
They had
and
like,
it was like
roasts, and they were slicing it into chops.
It was so tender. It was incredible.
It was good.
The best pork chop I've ever had in my life.
For sure. So
no doubt.
If you haven't tried burnt bean, obviously this is like a catered menu option. I don't think this is something they have on their regular menu.
They have it on, I believe, Saturday and Sundays.
Really?
The pork chop.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to maybe go there on a Saturday or something to get it back. But, I mean, we've definitely had their barbecue. And we've had their breakfast. Oh, it's great. Really good.
There's nothing that I've ever gotten there that I'm like, that's not good.
Right.
It's all good.
Especially for people who barbecue all the time. People who are winning with their barbecue all the time, and you're trying to find somebody to cater for them. I mean, you couldn't have picked anybody better. I mean,
for sure.
Ernest is he's really good at what he does. His whole team is good at what they do.
Yeah.
So it was really great. I'm at the very least to sit there and eat. It was
doubt.
Was good.
It was awesome. It was an awesome event. And then, of course, thank God we got home safe the next day, and it was on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So the next thing was us filming a video on how to use a drum smoker.
For sure.
And that's something that you and I you've seen it. How many people have come up to me at an event and been like, hey man, how do you like your drum smoker? How do you use it? How do these things work?
Yeah.
I get it every event from random people all the time. Like, oh, I've seen these before. These are cool. How do you do it? How do you use it? Do you like it? Do you, whatever. But what's the good and what's the bad? So we figured we'd put together a little video that kind of showed you guys the goods and the bad. Well, it's not really bad, but the advantages, maybe the disadvantages of drum smoker cooking. So we took our race crew drum. We showed you guys the intakes. We won't go into too much detail. You guys can watch that video. It's on the channel right now. And we ended up just putting together a how-to sort of video. I talked about some of the things that I like to do, some of the things that I don't like to do, some of the things I think you should watch for, and I think it's a really good video, so go check it out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any disadvantages to using the drum smokers. Like you said, the things you have to worry about are, if you leave your lid open, it can get out of control.
Which we show you in the video.
Right. I mean, that's the biggest thing. But they're very simple to operate, I think. Anybody it's definitely simpler than, a stick burner offset, right? You're not having to sit there and feed a fire constantly every, 30 minutes to an hour or anything like that. Once you start using them and you get some experience with them, they are very easy to operate. I mean, even me, I'll try and look out for the temps if I need to close a vent or open it up. I can do that just from watching you from several events. Yeah. So they're pretty easy to operate. And they help you to cook things hot and fast, which is very beneficial in a competition setting. I mean, if you're willing to be out there cooking the night before, staying up early in the morning, all throughout the day, I mean, if that's something you're willing to do, I mean, more power to you. I mean, no food really comes out bad on an offset. If anything, it's probably even better. But a lot of us competition cooks are really used to, getting our sleep and cooking things hot and fast, and it still turns out good. I mean, I think unless you're trying it side by side, you're not really going to notice any flavor differences. Yeah. From the low and slow to the hot and the fast.
I think it's more texture.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I personally think that if you put the best brisket cook in the world on an offset versus the best brisket cook in the world on a drum, I do think the offset's going to win.
For sure.
That's just what I think. I don't necessarily know if there's any science behind it or anything. I just think that offset food does, come out better texture. It's a little bit different, but I think it's really, really good. But I think that they both have their place. And again, go ahead and check out that video. We talk about the drum smoker only in that video. And moving forward, our next video that's going to be on the channel will be the CBA World Championships. So we did want to talk about some stores that now are carrying our products in different states. So we're now available in Big Bear Barbecue Supplies in New York, which is awesome. I can't even, New York, that honestly kind of blows my mind. Yeah. And thank you to them for the opportunity. They said that they've already been getting pretty great feedback on it, so that is amazing. Also, Boost Your Barbecue. We are now available with Boost Your Barbecue. So what they have is they have a subscription box for barbecue supplies that they send out monthly. And now we're available in that monthly subscription. So really cool stuff. Check out boostyourbbq.com. And again, thank you very much to them for giving us an opportunity. Papa Joe's Barbecue Pro Shop as well. That's here in Texas. We're available there now. We're working on a few more stores right now, and hopefully those will be finalized and come to fruition pretty soon. But we did want to shout out a few new stores that are now carrying our Texas-made barbecue seasonings. So thank you guys for allowing us to keep growing, and that gives us more and more opportunities like that. And I also wanted to announce that we are officially affiliated with Icy Tech. Icy Tech is an amazing cooler brand that is made 100% in the USA, which is something that means a lot to Sabrina and I. And we like to be affiliated with products that have great values. They are amazing people. I talk with them on the phone. I mean, you heard me on the phone with them for a while the other day, and they're just really, really easy to talk to. They believe in what we're doing. They like our vision, and we like theirs. So officially, we are affiliated with Icy Tech. So we're going to be getting some coolers, and what we're going to start doing at every single barbecue contest from here on out. And Friday night, I'm going to invite everybody out to get a free beer, hang out, just chat with us, talk about barbecue, talk about your life, whatever you want. And we're just going to be hanging out, and that's going to be sponsored by Icy Tech. So that's going to be something we're going to do on Friday nights at every single barbecue competition. I was thinking about it. So we have a local brewery here in town called Nueces County Brewery, I believe. So I'm going to start picking up some beers from them too, so we can get like local beers in the ice chest and have people from out of town maybe trying some local beer as well. And, we'll just throw some basic beers in there, and then maybe we'll throw like a Smirnoff in there and ice somebody, as a joke or whatever. But either way, it is awesome that we continue to grow, and it's because you guys watch and listen. These brands like Icy Tech, like Weber, like B&B, ThermoWorks, How to Barbecue Right, Killer Hogs, they trust us because you guys give us this platform, and we are greatly, greatly appreciative of it. And obviously, we hope to keep going. We hope to keep growing. And yeah, we're just really, really happy and excited about the opportunity with Icy Tech. We want to give a shout out to them and be on the lookout this Friday. Well, I guess when you guys are listening to this, we'll be at a competition, and I'm going to have one of those ice chests filled with beer, and we're going to start it up.
And lastly, we want to talk about our new challenge coins that are going to be available for people using our products, winning with our products, GCs, in sanctioned events.
Mm-hmm. What this challenge coin is it's a way for you to earn a piece of memorabilia that proves that you won an event, has to be sanctioned, like Sabrina said, and that you used Gulf Coast Smoke seasonings. So what we're doing is we're making it a rule that you have to take a picture of your protein with the seasoning on it with our bottle in the mix somewhere, and you have to send it to support@gulfcoastsmoke.com. And that's just going to be proof that, hey, we used it. Now, Sabrina and I are a two-man-woman operation. We see every single order that comes in, so we really do know who uses our products. For the most part, we know who uses our products. Please, please, please do not try and poke our eyes here. We are giving you guys the benefit of the doubt. We also understand that there's local places out there that you can order these products from. We don't want to have to start questioning anybody, but we will if we have to. Sabrina and I are very, very easy to get along with, and we don't want to have to, like I said, question anybody, but please just do the right thing and be real with us if you're actually using our stuff. So anyway, if you hit a GC, you used our products, and our products helped you hit a GC, you're going to get one of these challenge coins. And I got the idea from IBCA. So our last IBCA, thankfully, we were able to win it, and they gave us a challenge coin. And I instantly showed it to you, and I was like, look at how beautiful this coin is. This is a nice coin. But anyway, it just gave us the idea that, hey, this is something that we should do.
Yeah.
And this is something that we really want to do. And I think it's going to be good. We bought a bunch of coins. Hopefully that you guys are going going to get some GCs out there with our products, and we will be sending these out. And hopefully you guys are excited about this just as much as we are. We know that there's a lot of people out there using our products, and yeah, hopefully this is a cool little initiative for you guys to try our products, hopefully win with our products, and get that coin that, in my opinion, they look so good. If you haven't seen them, go check the pictures out on our Facebook. I put them on our Facebook, and man, they are nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we want to continue for a long time. You know, there's going to be a point where we don't compete anymore. You know, that not that that's going to happen anytime soon, but the day will come where we really don't compete as much, but we still know that people are out there using our seasonings, and we just want to do something fun to, you know, honor the people that are winning with our seasonings.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that it's a little tradition that we can keep going for a long time.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think a lot of it stemmed from the fact that we are grateful that people use our seasonings, and we are very, very happy that they can win with our seasonings. And we have so many supporters who are friends, who are people on the barbecue trail. And man, this is just a small token of appreciation back. We're not charging you for these coins. We're sending them to you on our dime. We paid for them ourselves. And trust me, they're not cheap coins. We spent pretty decent money on these coins. They're very, very nice. They're brass. They're heavy. Like, it's a for real coin. We want you guys to have something nice. And we really, really feel that this is a way that we can show you some sort of appreciation. We know that it's not nearly as much as you guys have given us, but one of the things Sabrina and I have always promised ourselves and each other is that if we can, we will, right? So like in this situation, if we can give something back to you guys, even in the smallest way, we absolutely will. And if one day we've made it and we can give back more, we absolutely will, because we understand that we don't get to these points without you guys, without people like my dad, without people like Chance and Travis and Luke and me and you and Oscar and Kevin and Bill and Raul and then all the people that buy our seasonings and Rini, people who support us and push our products out there, people like Dustin Stanley that carry our seasonings, push them hard, sell a lot of them, people like Nathan at Boari. There's so many people. I'm just thinking of names really quickly off the top of my head of people that support us, my sisters, my mom, your parents. There hopefully is a day where we can give back more, and we absolutely will. If we can, we will. That's Sabrina and I have always said that. If we can, we will. And if we can't, we can't. Right now, we can. We can do this, and we hope that you guys are as excited about it as we are, because we do think this is something that's really cool.
If you're listening to this today on Friday, we are getting ready to go to an IBCA competition in Sinton. Now, this is almost like our anniversary for when and where we first started competing last year. And, I mean, we did Battling Barbecue, you know, a couple times in a row, but I would consider, you know, that competition in Sinton last year to be pretty much our start. So we're pretty excited to go back to where it all started, where we got our butts kicked and wanted to get back out there and compete again. And it just fueled that fire that is still going, and we still love competing.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome that we're going back to this event, because this truly, truly, truly is where it all started. And I'm actually a little bit nervous about this one just because it is where we started, and I want to do better than we did last year. I don't even remember what we did last year. I don't think we got any calls, did we?
Yeah, we got, I don't know, because I just know we got our butts kicked and we're like, no, we're coming back. We might have gotten like one call, maybe like a chicken call or something, but
yeah, I'm not too sure. But either way, it's something for us to it's like one full year of competing. This is where we're at. This is what we've accomplished, and we talked about it today, like a year of competing, and this is what we've done. It's really amazing. We've worked really hard. You and I are very, very, you know how we are. We want to do well in everything that we do. So, you know, it's just how it goes. But man, I'm excited to see how we do this weekend. And again, if you guys are out there in Sinton, come up, say hi. Let us know how you're doing. We'll talk about how we're doing. And man, next week, so I work all this week. Then next week I work. Do I work all next week or do I? I don't remember.
I don't know. Definitely don't work Thursday.
On the 9th of March, we're gonna be in Hernando, Mississippi, and we're gonna be at Malcolm Shop, and I'm gonna be judging a chili contest over at Malcolm Shop. Shout out to Tyler, to TikTok Tyler. He got me in on that. And then throughout the weekend, hopefully we're gonna be hanging out with Mark Williams and hopefully doing something with him. I'm gonna try and get him on the channel. I can't make any promises. I'm going to try and get him on the channel, but I am going to be able to hang out with him and hopefully have some dinner and, just kind of see what's going on over there in the How to Barbecue Right, Killer Hogs, Swine Life world a little bit. That'd be really cool. And, yeah, just we're looking forward to that trip. For us, it's not even necessarily about going there. It's about doing something different. It feels like a consistent thing for us every week. It's film, podcast, compete. Taking care of kids, work, film, podcast, compete, taking care of kids, work, and that's life, and that's okay. But this is going to be like refreshing. We're going to get in the car. We like to drive. We're going to take our time. We're going to make multiple stops. We have things that we're going to do on the way. We're going to try and vlog, and we're going to have fun with it. If the vlog doesn't turn out good, we won't post it. It's no big deal to us. But we're excited to go, and I think it's going to be a great trip for all of us. I mean, it's probably going to be stressful. The kids are going to have to stop every 3-4 hours, but, man, it's okay.
Yeah, too bad there's no Buc-ee's past, what is it, eastern side of Texas.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. We like road tripping, and we're hoping to get some really cool food vlogs, trying some really cool places along the way there and along the way back. So,
yeah, hopefully
that goes well so we can come back from our little vacation with some interesting content for you guys.
For sure. And again, thank you guys for continuing to listen, continuing to watch. The videos on the channel have been doing pretty good lately, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you guys for watching. It means the world to us. And did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about today?
No, we didn't forget about Around the Kettle. I'm sure we'll be coming up with
this is the only one we've had since then, I think.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll be, we didn't forget about it. We'll bring it back maybe on the next one. I mean, it's not something we do every single time anyway, but we're just happy to be back. Thank you for being patient and waiting for these episodes
and understanding
to come back.
Sure. For sure.
Hopefully we don't miss any more.
Yeah, that's the plan is to not miss any more, but we will be on vacation soon too, so you never know. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.